Let's get it on. Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas, Conference USA semifinal #1. The Blazers from Birmingham against the Hilltoppers. Andy Kennedy, first season, coaching his alma mater, 1991 UAB grad. 12 successful seasons at Ole Miss, 2 trips to the NCAA tournament, now trying to lead the Blazers back to the NCAAs. Time for today's Kubota starting lineups. Quan Jackson, the grad transfer from Georgia Southern, sets the tempo for UAB, and for the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers, the best news of the day, Charles Bassey, the 6'11 junior, is in the starting 5 for Rick Stansbury in his 5th season coaching Western Kentucky University. 14 successful years at Mississippi State, and yet it has been heartbreak in the Conference USA tournament. Happy to be back in 2021 with a chance to bring Charles Bassey and the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers into the championship game again. UAB versus Western Kentucky for a spot in the CUSA final. And this has all the makings of a good one, Avery.
The only thing that's missing about this game, Carter, is I don't have any eligibility left to play in this game. I'm so excited.
The juices are flowing just past 11 a.m. local time here in Frisco, Texas. So we know UAB wants to play a slower tempo game. We know it's built on D. Jemison misses in tight. And for Western Kentucky, all eyes on number 23, Charles Bassey, to see how the back holds up.
Yeah, Andy Kennedy wanted to try to get Jemison going early in the game, especially with Bassey, seeming to be a little bit hobbled. Tried to get an early cheap foul on him. That was a design play to start the game.
Well, just like you told us that Tavion Hollingsworth would have to carry more of the load today for Western Kentucky, that on the Hilltoppers' first touch, Hollingsworth, the veteran, gets bumped. The foul is on Taylon Lovin, and Tavion Hollingsworth, senior from Lexington, gets it started for the Toppers. Just
really impressed. This Hollingsworth has been pretty durable his entire career. A lot of times when you have an opportunity playing at 127 consecutive games, that doesn't mean that you're feeling good every game. You have some soreness. He may not be injured, but he's a tough kid.
Anderson trying to turn up the D in the backcourt. Hilltoppers ready to trap as soon as UAB gets it across. UAB, who's won 5 of 6, including 2 at North Texas and a quarterfinal win over Rice. So they're playing their best ball of the season in March. Offensive rebound for Jemison, kick out. Quan Jackson misses his first look. Hustle, out of bounds off UAB. It'll be Western Kentucky ball.
And you see early on, Anderson is matched up with Erdl. And philosophically, Rick Stansbury been around the block a long time. I remember when, prior to Western Kentucky, he was an assistant at Texas A&M when my son was on Texas A&M's team, Coach Billy Kennedy. But Rick Stansbury's been around the block a lot. He probably thinks that if they can slow down Erdl tonight, especially when you're dealing with Anderson, Conference USA all-defensive player, that could bode well for them in terms of them being successful today.
I think Rick Stansbury invented the block. Battletown, Kentucky, Meade County. McKnight, nice find. Hollingsworth on the baseline. Walled up, Jemison, good D to send the Blazers on the run. Erdl eyes up. Into Jemison again on the post. Nicholson, long 2. Tapped out, Anderson tracks it down. Hollingsworth now runs the Toppers.
Jemison's been a factor in this game early. Offensive rebound, contesting shots inside. If he can neutralize Bassey, that's going to increase UAB's chance of having success this afternoon.
0 for 4 shooting start for UAB, but that's how they've done it all year. Hollingsworth, fight for the rebound, taken away by Quan Jackson. 6'4" from Tallahassee. The Quan blocked by Williams inside. Hilltoppers bring it back. Bassey running the floor. Can't get it to him. Blazers bring it back. Erdl attacks. make it an over 5 shooting start.
Yeah, both teams are playing at a frenetic pace right now. Western Kentucky missed a great opportunity on that last 5-on-4 break. That's the worst thing you want to do is turn the ball over. And especially turn it over against a team in UAB who takes very good care of the basketball.
Turnovers have been the big issue for Western Kentucky. They average 15 a game. In their losses, that number is 20 turnovers a game. Bassey eyes it. Boarded by Jackson. Still nobody's made a field goal in the game.
No, and Bassey, in the last game, he made 2 threes. He was 2 for 5 from 3, so he's definitely capable, and that's really what's elevating him in terms of the NBA draft, his improved three-point range.
Double on the post, Ertl on the weak side. Nicholson, 8 to shoot. Dump it off, Jackson around Bassey. That's a tough bucket.
Yeah, but that was all Nicholson in that situation. Kasim Nicholson, when recognizing that it's a point of no return, he's double teamed and made a nice pass to his teammate cutting to the basket.
Nearly 4 minutes in, Quan Jackson, the game's first bucket.
UAB playing a little 2-3 matchup zone here.
Williams to McKnight, the freshman from Shelbyville, Kentucky. McKnight lost it, turnover, leading to Jackson, taken right back by Davion. Great hustle play. Hollingsworth, Anderson drops it off, and Anderson gets fouled. So back and forth in the end, 94 feet. It is a low-scoring but intense start here in Frisco. Hilltoppers and Blazers for a spot in the CUSA title game.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Kubota. Together we do more. By AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure. And by Gorilla. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
At the home of the Dallas Cowboys, the Star, Frisco, Texas. Thought about wearing the Tom Landry hat today, but the headset won't quite fit. So 2-2 between Western Kentucky and UAB. And Charles Bassey, I mean, the good news is that Charles Bassey in the starting lineup, and through the first 4 minutes, the big man looks pretty good health-wise.
Yeah, he looks pretty good, getting up and down the floor. He hasn't been able to get himself going inside, and that's not an easy task against Trey Jemison, who's, 7 feet, 260 pounds. When Western Kentucky, when they're at their best, Bassey's scoring points in the paint. He's mixing it up with some threes inside. But it's a tall task when you're playing against a really good post defender in Jemison.
And here's the matchup now. Bassey gives it up. Quick touch. Williams. McKnight. First made bucket for Western Kentucky.
And see, that's what happens when you have another guy in Carson Williams that's kind of not quite twin towers, but they both require a lot of attention on the post.
Ertl tries a 3 and hits it. So out of the under 16 timeout, starting to fly off both ends. I mean, we were joking in a 2-2 basketball game, pretty entertaining, and now it's starting to go down.
Yeah, and that's a switching situation where Nicholson switch, but he's got to get out there and deny the ball. I mean, Hollingsworth switch, excuse me.
All right, so here's the 2 made threes in the game.
Yeah, so it's 3 on the ball. Nice decision by Carson Williams to kick the ball out. And then this last one, Nicholson, they were switching with Hollingsworth. He's got to get out there and deny that pass.
Well, you talked about the big man matchup. I mean, this is the first meeting of the year between these two. So Charles Bassey against Trey Jemison, a player that you recruited to Alabama during your time with the Tide.
Yeah, Jemison has always been, he doesn't have an identity crisis. He knows exactly who he is.
And built to be a defender of guys like Charles Bassey. Scott Grayson running point for the Blazers. That's a tough two right off the bench for Tyreek Scott Grayson. He was terrific in the quarterfinal win over Rice.
See, that's another coaching situation in terms of scouting report. You know, Andy Kennedy situation, they want to go at Rawls. They don't want to attack, you know, an all defensive Conference USA defensive player, Josh Anderson. Smart play.
Off the Bassie miss. Now Jemison wants it on the block. Draws the double. Tough sky hook. Didn't work out. Second chance for the Blazers. No reset of the shot clock. 7 to shoot. You hear Andy Kennedy saying quickly. Turnover. Run out chance for the Toppers. McKnight fouled on his way in. Jackson gets back to give the foul.
Yeah, a lot of times when a coach is saying go quickly, he doesn't want you to go quickly and turn it over.
That's the second part of the statement.
Right.
Go quickly, but don't give them a run-out chance.
And that's why your spacing has to be correct. UAB wasn't spaced properly in that last play.
Okay, correction on the foul. Looks like Scott Grayson is going to get the foul rather than Quan Jackson. We thank Darren George for making sure we get that one squared away. Paramount Plus is here. Live sports, breaking news, and a mountain of entertainment. Paramount Plus. Try it free. With our producer, Carlo Generini, our director, Matt Plundo, our statistician, Professor John Tobias, Carter Blackburn, Avery Johnson, courtside, Western Kentucky and UAB. Conference USA semifinal number 1. Charles Bassie gets a rest.
Now you got to watch this lineup with Western Kentucky yesterday in their game against UTSA. This is when they got a little bit of a cushion with Frampton and Rawls coming off the bench. Those guys combined for 15 points off the bench and 3 for 6 from the three-point line. So this is a lineup that Coach Stansbury has a lot of confidence in.
Benjamin, nice look. Scott Grayson can't hit the bunny. Lovin's there to finish it off. Taven Lovin. Taken away. Benjamin gets a hand on it. Here come the Blazers. Benjamin spins and can't hit. Rolls with the smaller Western Kentucky lineup. Frampton, trouble in transition from Luke Frampton.
And that's Frampton's spot. When you look at the analytics of basketball, where does he really like to shoot threes on that left side of the floor? You got to know when you're closing out, you got to run him off the three-point line. Make him put the ball on the floor.
And my pledge to Western Kentucky, all viewers, I'm not going to make any Frampton references, just Luke Frampton. Scott Grayson with the bump, late in the clock again. Lovin off the bounce, and one. Count the bucket with a foul.
One. You have to know Lovin is not a three-point shooter. He's a strong right-handed driver. So I know Lovin is loving that move.
And let's see, Lovin with 4 points has now reached 1,000 in his career. Came in at 9.96. The junior from Franklin, Kentucky, finishes off the three-point play. And Taven Lovin bringing it. Congratulations, going over 1,000 career points.
Yeah, they almost look like he's playing the wrong sport, especially in this building. He needs to be a strong safety.
Paging Stephen Jones. Into the corner, triple rolls, boarded by Benjamin, and with the smaller lineups on the floor, the Blazers and Hilltoppers are flying end-to-end. Kirkland finishes it off.
Yeah, nice pass. Whenever you can get transition points before teams get their defense set, both Western Kentucky and UAB, they're mixing up their defenses.
Skip to the corner, Cooper down the baseline, rolls out, foul called. Blazers by 4, running.
Yeah, whenever you can get in transition, especially you get the guards going to the basket, making those short passes to the big guys, keep the big guys happy.
You're watching Bracket Week, presented by Kubota. Conference USA semifinal number 1, UAB 4-point edge on Western Kentucky. Blazers after a slow offensive start. Points in the paint.
Yes. Carter, you like donuts?
Yes.
Because that's what Western Kentucky has. They have a donut. They're getting outscored 10-0 in the paint. A little bit surprising, even though we know UAB, especially with their starting lineup outside of Erdl, you know, most of UAB's three-point shooting comes off of the bench. But a little bit surprising that they've outscored Western Kentucky 10-0 in the paint.
I would say this, Avery. I would take a beignet over a donut, and I'm pretty sure you're in the same boat, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. With the powdered sugar.
Cafe Du Monde.
Absolutely. Chicory coffee. Take me there right now. I tell you what, with Bassi on the bench and with Jemison on the bench for UAB, both teams' smaller lineup, the tempo of the game has changed dramatically.
That's definitely in UAB's favor.
Benjamin into Lovin. Early start for UAB. Western Kentucky has not made it easy on the tag. You gotta love the hustle from Lovin, but it's out of bounds to Western Kentucky.
Yeah, and with this lineup, UAB, Lovin is more at the 4 position now. So when you really downsize and put him at the 4 position, then they're going to try to post him up, especially if they have the same size matchup on the post.
They put Jalen Benjamin, the sophomore from Raleigh, North Carolina, to hound Davion McKnight at the point, and then back into the zone. Right over the top of it, missed 3 from Frampton. Blazers run again. Lovin, hit, play on. Anderson does. Anderson lines it up. Tap out, who touched it. Out of bounds off of the Toppers, Blazer ball.
I think Western Kentucky's making a little bit of a mistake here. When they're at their best, they play through Bassi, they play through Williams. And you know, Williams is not getting enough touches. The last time he touched the ball on the right box, it resulted in a 3-point basket. So I think they got to get back to who they are. Transition threes. It's not necessarily their strength unless they're completely wide open.
And Bassi and Hollingsworth are coming back at the next stop. Lovin gets another tough bucket.
And that's what I'm talking about. They're playing through Lovin. They think this is a favorable matchup for them.
So you talked about Western Kentucky playing through Williams and Bassi. Combined, they have 2 shots and 0 points. Cleared again by Scott Grayson. Halfway through the game, Williams hasn't taken a shot. He had 15 points in the quarterfinal win. D'ing it up, McKnight takes it away.
Yep. Lovin is not going to be able to overpower Carson Williams.
Here's Williams drawing 3 defenders and a foul. No, he traveled. Wipe out the bucket, he traveled. Jersey Mike's is the proud title sponsor of the Naismith Player of the Year Award. Join us when we announce the winner on April 3rd, right here on CBS Sports Network. I would think Luka Garza would be the clubhouse leader.
Now Western Kentucky, they're in their 2-3 zone.
Bassi and Hollingsworth back on the floor for the Hilltoppers. Jemison in the middle for UAB. Nicholson.
And that's exactly where the soft spot is, in the 2-3 zone, right in the middle. Fantastic cut by Nicholson. But a lot of times in those situations, it's not just the guy that scores the ball, it's the decision maker, the guy that makes the assist or gets the hockey assist.
And on this end, there's Bassi, same spot, first bucket of the game for Charles Bassi.
And smart decision by Bassi, not to try to continue to overpound Trey Jemison inside, move him outside a little bit, move him around.
Low scoring game definitely favors UAB. Off the window, Nicholson. I mean, he's carving up the zone.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to call an audible on that zone defense if it continues to be that easy.
3 try. Rolls, buries it. The sophomore from Chattanooga.
When you catch those zones in a shift, then you find that little pocket, what we call it, and Rawls found that pocket on the wing.
Western Kentucky over the top of the zone. They don't shoot or make a lot of threes. They average only five made threes a game. Have 3 in this one. That has kept the Hilltoppers in it.
I was really impressed with their free throw shooting in the last game. They shot 96% from the free throw line, 24 for 25.
They have always been good at getting to the line. That's the way Rick Stansbury draws it up. Late in the shot clock, 5 to shoot down the baseline. Jemison walls up on Hollingsworth. Here's Anderson to try and bail him out. That's a shot clock violation. The Blazers D'ing up the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers, UAB by 3.
Yeah, but Kasim Nicholson, Jackson, Mississippi, finding the hole in the zone, and then when they take away the hole, then he hits you with the floater.
Blazers the 2 seed in the West in Conference USA with a 3-point lead on the 1 seed in the East, Western Kentucky. Bracket Week presented by Kubota continues with the Mountain West semifinals. Critical games starting at 9:30 Eastern. Nevada, San Diego State, and then a double bubble battle royale. Colorado State taking on Utah State in the nightcap at midnight. So this is Jerry Palm's projections right now, showing you how critical this game is for Utah State and their semifinal matchup with Colorado State. Nevada, the 5 seed, may have already burst the bubble of Boise State. The Broncos trying to hang on, but that we knew going in the Mountain West Conference tournament there would be a lot of bubble action out there, and it has delivered, and still more to come.
And what about a model of consistency by San Diego State? You know, Coach Dutcher, Coach of the Year again. Man, they've been impressive.
And San Diego State, I mean, they're in the field as at large. That's just maybe a seeding question for the Aztecs, but one of the best coaching jobs and one of the best programs anywhere in America, the San Diego State Aztecs.
And I'm glad I'm in the field for the first time.
Yeah, that's right. Avery, congratulations, man, beginning with the first 4. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, really excited.
Davion McKnight makes it a 1-point game again.
I love to see players just play to their strengths. He's a strong left-handed driver, and you know he went to his strength, executed.
Ertl has an answer. Grad transfer from Louisiana Monroe, and as you pointed out, he is from Indianapolis. So you cut down the nets in Frisco, you head on to Indianapolis for the All-Indiana NCAA tournament.
Yeah, and I know we're focusing on the big guys from Western Kentucky, but we know, you know, if you want to win conference tournaments and advance in the NCAA tournament, you have to have strong guard play.
McKnight can't finish that one, but another nice move for the former Mr. Basketball in Kentucky. Rick Stansbury has made a habit of getting Mr. Basketball in Kentucky for the Bluegrass native. Still plenty of time here for the Blazers.
And that's going to be a key. If Ertl, you know, if he can't get a 3-point shot off, how he's going to create some offense.
Off the screen from Jemison this time. Step back, rattles out, but a good look.
Well, that's a great look. He's looking to have another big afternoon.
Hollingsworth, Frampton. Jemison has the board. Mason, just Jemison's second rebound, but his defense has been impactful. That screen is impactful. I mean, McKnight got the full brunt of Trey Jemison.
Another key that we have to look at is the conditioning. You know, these teams are back-to-back games, you know, quick turnaround. Ertl, he looks to be a little bit exhausted right now.
That's out of bounds off Aquan Jackson on the baseline when the Blazers are trying to turn and run. That was consequential because UAB was about to get it in transition. Bassey gives it right back. McKnight down the baseline. The freshman drops it off to the big man.
Nice move. Really good short pass, hesitation on the baseline. And sometimes when you're on that baseline, that it could be another extra defender if you're not careful. So he did a really nice tightrope move there to complete that short pass to Bassett.
Lovin. Nicholson couldn't handle it, gets it back. Nicholson, floater in the paint. He's making tough bucket after tough bucket.
Yeah, senior, 6'7", 200 pounds.
Bassey wants it again on the block. Turnover, Western Kentucky. Right into the Blazers' hands. Lovin to Ertl on the run, blocked. And now the Toppers bring it back. End to end. Hollingsworth sprints in. Boarded by Nicholson. Now can UAB convert? Quan Jackson attacks. Jackson, blocking foul underneath. The Quan wins the battle, and now McKnight is down. Davion McKnight is holding his back. It is physical, and it is flying.
Yeah, it was a bang-bang play. Yeah, that was a block. He wasn't really in what you call a legal guarding position. He was moving.
Well, you have to take it into super slow-mo to figure it out. I mean, it is rolling right now. And we came into the day with a question mark around Charles Bassey's health for Western Kentucky. Now, Hollingsworth's been banged up in this game. McKnight's been banged up. And like you said, this point into March, and you're rolling early in the morning after playing last night, and it is all a test.
Yeah, and there's no excuses. You know, all of these student athletes, they're so excited to be playing basketball because we obviously know where we were a year ago. And so to be in position to be playing in the Conference USA semifinals, to have an opportunity to advance to the finals and go to the NCAA tournament, all of these kids and coaches, staff, and all of the folks behind the scenes with the health protocols, they're really excited.
And we're really excited too. I mean, it's a thrill to be here. This equals the largest lead for UAB. North Texas and Louisiana Tech, another good one coming up next. North Texas, who was the regular season champ last year, lost out on the opportunity with the cancellation of the rest of the Conference USA tournament. There's been some heartbreak for Western Kentucky and for North Texas, and an opportunity in 2021, but this is the problem for the Hilltoppers, turnover.
Yeah, and especially when you have more turnovers than field goals. They have 9 turnovers and 6 field goals.
And how much do you credit that to UAB's defense?
Some of it to UAB's defense, but, you know, yesterday, you know, last night in the game, Western Kentucky had some issues with post passing and feeding the ball into their big guys.
Williams got called for a foul there. That's a tough one.
That was a tough one. That looked like that was all ball.
And you know what? They gave that one to Hollingsworth. That's the second time we've had a foul correction. So it's Hollingsworth who gets that one rather than Williams.
2-5.
Ertl, D'd up, and he hits it anyway over Tavion Hollingsworth. Largest lead for UAB.
I am so impressed with Ertl's tenacity. He's just relentless. He puts pressure on the defense. He's not going to be one-dimensional and just shoot threes. He's mixing it up.
Rolls, finds Frampton. Rejected inside. Williams tries to run it down. It is UAB ball. I mean, Williams had a chance to corral it. Michael Ertl doing work.
Love the way Ertl's dancing. He must have been listening to Marvin Gaye with me before the game. Let's get it on, Ertl.
Just north of the Big D, we're at the home of the Cowboys, the Star in Frisco, Texas, where UAB has scored 6 straight, 8-point edge on Western Kentucky. Coming up, AT&T in the half, Brent Stover and Ryan Holland standing by to get you up on everything that is going on in conference tournament news and highlights. Coming up, AT&T at the half. All eyes Charles Bassey in this one. The back issues go back to December. Last year was a broken left leg, so he had to warm it up, game time decision. Slow start, but Bassey's starting to find his offensive flow.
Yeah, and if Western Kentucky want to win, you know, for the 47th time, have a 20-win season, with the likes of UCLA and UNC and Duke, they better find a way to get the ball to Bassey.
Bassey and Williams combined for 38 a game. In this one, 4 points between them so far.
And it can happen in a variety of ways. Don't force feed him where you turn the ball over, but Western Kentucky's got to move him around a little bit more. But if they're going to be successful today, Bassey's got to have a little bit more of a prominent role in their offense.
Western Kentucky had one of the best wins anywhere in December when they won at Alabama with 27-12 from Charles Bassey. But that's when the back issues began, was after that Alabama game.
Yeah, and give them credit. They've tried to challenge themselves. They also played Houston this year, which is a game that was added to their schedule.
They have 9 wins over Power 5 under Rick Stansbury, but the issue has been, there's Bassey on the baseline, the letdowns and struggles in games like this.
Yeah. And see, this is what I love about these two coaching staffs. These guys play chess. They don't play checkers now. You know, Coach Stansbury and Coach Kennedy, I've coached against these guys. They know what they're doing. You knew exactly where that ball was going to go coming out of that timeout.
Hollingsworth commits the foul. So there's no secrets. I mean, Rick Stansbury, a lot of time at Mississippi State. Andy Kennedy, Ole Miss. You had your time in the league at Alabama. That's a foul on Hollingsworth. 3 coming for Quan. But yeah, everybody knows everybody's tendencies and tricks and the way they want to play, right?
But you always have to have something in your back pocket, especially, come conference tournament time. You always want to have those 1 or 2 plays that you hadn't really run all year. You can pull them out of your back pocket.
It's Antonio Petty trying to make sure it's a 2 or 3, and he says, yep, it's a 3.
It's 3, yeah.
So good check, and a bad foul on Hollingsworth, and it wasn't close. I mean, he hit Jackson pretty good. 3 shots coming.
Whenever you go to the free throw line and you miss 2 free throws, that's like a turnover or a defensive stop. Those type of fouls, when you're fouling 3-point shooters, they could be lethal. Especially giving 3 free throws. Running under a shooter like that is actually dangerous.
Which is why, I mean, it's a point of emphasis as well, and keep an eye on that through March. I mean, you have to let that shooter come all the way back to the floor unimpeded. Quan Jackson, grad transfer at Georgia Southern. He brings the energy, brings the flow. A bit like Carldell Squeaky Johnson did on some of the great UAB teams for Mike Anderson.
Yeah, 248 career steals. Senior leadership, and especially if you're a grad transfer, it's definitely vital during this time of the year. You see a lot of the young teams around the country, they've kind of fizzled out.
That's right. And the veterans are still playing in March. Here's McKnight in tight. Tough over Jemison.
On that last play, that's an assist for Bassey because the defender was fronting the post on Bassey. Bassey ducked in, jammed him, and it was basically like a pick.
Cleared the way for McKnight, and now Ertl. Nice shake on McKnight. Jemison wants it desperately on the post. Jemison backing in on Bassey. The hook. Bassey kept it alive for Anderson.
Well, if Jemison can get a couple of those to go, then they'll double team him. But otherwise, they'll allow Bassey to play Jemison one-on-one and stay home on the shooters. He's going to have to make one of those inside.
4 made threes for Western Kentucky. Against their tendencies, the triple has kept the Toppers in the game. Jemison draws 2 defenders. Finds Lovin. Air ball into the hands of Bassey. He took a pop from Anderson. Play on.
Yeah, that 3-point shot can be the great neutralizer, especially when you're turning the ball over.
And there's Bassey getting in the act. Bassey hits the 3 to even it at 31 from down 8. 8 straight Western Kentucky.
Western Kentucky was a little bit lethargic to start this game. They haven't done a great job of turning the ball over, but they're saying this is how we do it when we're focused, you know, knocking down the threes. And the big fella said, Trey Jemison, no, doesn't want to come out the paint and respect my three-point shot. Do you know I'm a potential first-round pick in the draft? You better ask somebody.
And Charles Bassey will tell you all about it. That's 15 made threes on the year. Ertl has an answer right out of the timeout. Ertl from deep. That is his third made three of the half.
I'm glad we featured Ertl in our pregame. Somebody got that right. Did you want to feature? I think you wanted to feature somebody else.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, as much as I love Quan, it was all about Ertl. I mean, he's got the hot hand. He has all three of the made threes for UAB. Waning seconds. Anderson missed the dunk. Foul called. Anderson ready to rock the rim. Instead, a trip to the line.
Wow. Had he been able to finish that dunk, that would have been on CBS Sports Network all day today. Wow. John Rothstein would have loved that one.
That's one of the best missed dunks you'll see all month. Oh. And here we are, raises a free throw shooting, and he missed the first. But still, my goodness, Anderson from Baton Rouge, that is a challenge. I mean, you're taking it up against 7'2", 260.
The entire Ford Center was shaking on that one.
Missed both free throws. And now UAB, slight differential, but they have a chance to hold for the last look.
It's amazing when you go up for a power dunk like that, you miss both free throws. Or you get fouled on the three-point shot, you make the shot, and you miss the free throw.
I've never had the feeling.
UAB is 16-0 when leading at the half.
Ertl off the bounce. Taken away. Here's McKnight. Last look. Gives it up. Rose. Triple. Two amazing looks for Western Kentucky at the end of the half. But nothing goes down. Not the dunk, not the buzzer-beating three, and UAB clinging to a three-point edge at the half.
Yeah, nice defense by Conference All-USA player Josh Anderson. And Rawls almost got it to fall.
It is a thrilling first half of action here in CUSA semifinal #1. Blazers and Toppers. Brent Stover, Ryan Hollingsworth standing by after the break. You're watching Bracket Week presented by Kubota. You're watching Bracket Week presented by Kubota. From the Star in Frisco, Texas, home of the Cowboys, home of Conference USA, semifinal #1. It's Blazers by 3 at the half. Big Red, even in 2D. Loved it. Carter Blackburn, Avery Johnson. Tell you what, action-packed first half after we had a slow start. These are two teams who feel like they're playing with a lot on the line.
They're playing with a lot of energy and urgency, and it's just going to be a matter of what type of adjustments each coaching staff make to give them an opportunity to have success in the second half.
Well, you told us before we got this one started, Michael Ertl has a hot hand for UAB, and he has kept it blazing.
Yeah, you can always depend on Ertl from the mid-range, but boy, the way he's expanded his game even more from behind the three-point line, he's been a dominant player. The big fella, Charles Bassey, got off to a slow start. He didn't score in the first 10 minutes of the game. He scored 9 points. In the next 10 minutes, he mixed it up inside, outside. We'll see if he can get back to 100% and playing like the Conference USA Player of the Year.
Look at the domination for points in the paint, and yes, it does come from turnovers for Western Kentucky, allowing the Blazers to get to the rim.
Yeah, you would have thought that the script would be flipped with Western Kentucky outscoring UAB in the paint, especially with Bassey inside and Williams.
The story in recent years for the Hilltoppers has been terrific regular seasons, big wins over big opponents, and then disappointment in the Conference USA tournament. 2 championship game losses, and then last year's tournament canceled in the middle of it. for UAB under first-year head coach Andy Kennedy. They are playing their best basketball. They've won 5 of their last 6. The founding member of Conference USA, UAB. Andy Kennedy coaching his alma mater, trying to get him to the championship game. North Texas, Louisiana Tech is semifinal number 2.
Yeah, AK tried to steal the possession there, and that's what he did. Looked like a little old Bob Huggins pressure trapping corner defense.
From the former Bob Huggins assistant who took over at Cincinnati, had a really good season in his 1 year as Cincinnati's head coach, then Ole Miss, and now UAB.
You can look at another strategy in terms of what Western Kentucky's trying to do, especially with Ertl. The way you slow down a guy that's a dominant offensive player is not just trying to trap him when he's on offense or mix up your defensive coverages, but to attack him when he's on defense.
Try and wear him out on the other end of the floor.
Try to wear him out, wear him down.
Into Bassi, backing in on Jemison. Another turnover, leading to another run-out chance. Quan Jackson, reach-in foul on Josh Anderson. And that has been the recipe for UAB. Turnover into transition.
It's going to be tough. Trey Jemison, he's 7 feet, 265 pounds. Bassi's not going to be able to just move him easily like he did, with the UTSA game.
Jemison with a catch, gives it up. Nicholson, another talk to Kasim Nicholson, the senior from Jackson, Mississippi, via Holmes Community College.
And that's what you got to sell Jemison on. Play defense, run the floor, and slow down Bassi's effectiveness inside. That's how you contribute. Maybe not, scoring on your jump hooks where he was unsuccessful in the first half. Play defense, offensive rebound, and make good decisions.
Davion McKnight gets past Jackson. Shelbyville, Kentucky. Martha Lane Collins High School, Shelbyville, Kentucky, the home of Burke's Branch Baptist Church, where my dad was a pastor. Williams has the board.
I know you were always a good boy.
There's another song called Son of a Preacher Man. There's some truth in that. Hollingsworth, nice fake. Ooh, foul called on Nicholson. Trying to poke it away in the post from Carson Williams. That's the 3rd on Kasim Nicholson. Oh, correction. First on Nicholson. All good.
In Western Kentucky, a couple of trick plays in their offensive bag, trying to utilize what we call sneak screens, where guards set baseline screens for Bassi to try to free him up. I don't think you can just straight post Bassi up, strength against Jemison. He's too strong.
Jackson bump on Williams, play on. Late in the shot clock, McKnight hits the deck. Foul is called as McKnight slips and hits the deck. And looks like, let's see, they got it on Quan.
Looked like McKnight was falling prior to any contact in that situation.
A tough foul on Jackson. Williams met at the rim. It's blocked by Nicholson. Jemison was there as well. UAB, who is 7th best in the nation, holding teams to 60 points per game. They have beat up the Hilltoppers as well. Ertl misses the mid-range. Jemison offensive board. Bassi gets the block. Jemison and Bassi fighting for the loose ball. Won by Jemison and the Blazers. Reset on a hard-fought possession.
And you're looking at UAB, who's an outstanding rebounding team.
Ertl beats the buzzer, but rattles out over McKnight. Well, it is a fight right now. Bassi, step back. Jackson has the board.
That's not the shot that Coach Stansbury wants in that situation. Move it 1 or 2 more times. Create some more separation with you and your defender. That was more of a bailout shot by Bassi.
Lovin, that is a offensive foul. Get away from me, buddy.
Both Both teams are playing outstanding defense. Here it is. Williams gets the ball inside. It's Jimerson and Nichols having a block party inside. And then Bassey returned the favor. Western Kentucky on yesterday had 7 block shots in that game.
Andy Kennedy giving Jimerson some defensive instruction.
Or some verbal intense correction. You got to have all of your different voices as a coach. I think that was Andy's intense voice.
Jackson saves it, stepped out of bounds. But the effort is exactly what you want. I mean, it feels like March.
Yeah, fantastic effort. Kids are laying it out on the line. All of those loose balls are what we call 50-50 balls. You want to win that game.
And would you say advantage UAB there?
Yes,
50-50?
definitely. Yeah.
And hence a 3-point advantage. McKnight, nice kick out. Fine Hollingsworth, 4-3, even again at 36.
Driving kick, passer makes the shooter. Once you beat your man and 1 or 2 defenders step up, then you're playing numbers on the backside and you have the advantage. You just got to find the right person.
Back cut, Bassey takes it away. Toppers a chance to take the lead.
UAB does a really nice job of taking care of the ball. They've been careless here. But on this left side drive, really nice drive, playing off of 2 feet, cash out with the 3-point shot.
Here we go. Big fella jamming in there. Oh my goodness! Can you believe this? Anything can happen in March.
The long wait is over. March Madness has returned. It all begins Selection Sunday, just 2 days away. Then the action tips off. First 4 on Thursday, all the way through the Final 4 and championship from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, only on CBS. And we welcome into the madness Avery Johnson, beginning with the first 4, and then you and Tom McCarthy will be on the first and second rounds. Thrilled to have you a part of the madness, Avery.
I'm so fired up. Looking forward to working with Tom. And then with the first 4 out, I'm with Brad Nessler and Steve Lavin.
So you'll be in much better hands than here in Frisco, Texas, with tremendous veteran leadership there. And for Western Kentucky, hoping to make it into the NCAA tournament. Their last was actually 2012-2013. That was back-to-back Sun Belt titles, so haven't been as a member of CUSA. And I mean, you were thinking back to December when they beat Alabama, saying they have excellent chance at large, but 3 quad 3 losses, that disqualifies you essentially from at large.
Yeah, those are painful, those 3 quad 3 losses. But tell you what, if Davion McKnight continue to play like he's playing today, they'll have a chance to not only win this game, but advance and win this Conference USA tournament, because Davion Mitchell, he's already doubled his scoring average. He's got 11 points, and I'm even more impressed by his playmaking ability, which has led or resulted in 6 assists.
Williams finally gets to the line. Williams hadn't done much as well for Western Kentucky, so you look at that profile again, and the net right now of 83. Even though Western Kentucky topped the regular season, that's actually the 5th best net in Conference USA. That's one of the weird wrinkles of this league in this year. Kirkland picks up his 4th personal foul for UAB. That's off the bottom of the net. Williams wins this 50-50 ball for Western Kentucky. On the run, Anderson lost it on the way up. Bassey there to bail him out.
That's how the big fella can get some easy baskets. He's still not running like he's pain-free. He's running like he's not comfortable, but he's playing. He realizes this is it.
Western Kentucky's first lead since early on against UAB, but an answer. That's a long 2. Nicholson even at a 38.
Having this up close and front row seat. It almost looks like when Nichols shoots the ball, that is not going to even touch the net. He's got a good-looking stroke.
That's the first points in over 4 minutes for UAB. They're built on defense. Tight games, including 2 wins at North Texas, who was in first place before the Blazers knocked them out.
And this time of the year, you're trying your best to stay away from scoring goals.
Oh, get out! Kirkland swats McKnight. Fight for the rebound, and it's tapped in Bassey. That's back-to-back tap-ins for Bassey.
But you notice Bassey's gotten 2 back-to-back tap-ins with Trey Jimerson on the bench. When Jimerson was on the court, you know, even his lack of offensive production in size, his size bothered Bassey. But now Nicholson is at center.
5 to shoot. Nicholson tries it. Bassey clears it. Bassey's presence taken over here in the second half.
Yeah, this combination of Nicholson and Kirkland trying to defend Bassey inside is not nearly as effective.
Williams looking for the high-low. Instead, Tavion Hollingsworth off the bounce.
Ray Carson Williams is a really good high-low passer.
Hollingsworth. Tough bucket. He was looking for the foul, didn't get it, but he got the bucket, and Western Kentucky has its largest lead of the second half. 4-point edge.
It's amazing all the possibilities when you don't turn the ball over.
Lovin. Taven Lovin, floater. Fight for this rebound, won by Williams, and now all the loose balls starting to be taken by Western Kentucky as well.
Look for a high-low here with Bassey. It's on the left box. Here it is.
Bassey pushed off by Kirkland. So he catches outside the paint.
They're going to have to come double-team him.
Bassey turnaround on Kirkland. Double didn't arrive in time.
Bassey said, if you don't double-team me, you're disrespecting me.
A 13-4 run. Timeout UAB as Charles Bassey muscles his way towards the championship game. It is Hilltoppers by 6. A slow start for the big man from Lagos, Nigeria. But the double-double machine is rolling to the rim. Conference USA semifinal number 1. It is Hilltoppers by 6 on the Blazers. Bracket week presented by Kubota continues with the MAC semifinals. Tonight, 5 Eastern, Ohio versus top-seeded Toledo, who survived in overtime over 8-seed Ball State yesterday, followed by Akron versus Buffalo, 7:30. Here it is Charles Bassey, presence felt both ends.
Well, you know what he can do on the defensive end, but Bassey's outscored UAB in the second half 6-4. Jump hooks. He's such a talented player. There are not many players in the country that has this skill set with this type of size.
And that has been, I mean, during this scoring run, Bassey, in addition to the points, 2 steals, a block, and 4 rebounds in the last 8 minutes. So inside, Jimerson back in the game.
And one of the things Coach Stansbury really wanted Bassey to focus on, especially coming into this year, was having multiple efforts. Second jumps, third jumps. You block a shot or contest a shot, you're unsuccessful.
Oh, and the 3.
I call that a multiple. It added up to 3.
All the tools.
I know if you're an NBA scout or general manager and you're looking at Bassey, especially fighting through, you know, injury, soreness, and you still playing and you giving it your all.
And let's go back to this morning before tip. It was a game-time decision. And as we watched Charles Bassey warm up, said it looks good. Let's see how much the big man can give you. And the answer is, after the offer in the first 10 minutes, 18 points since for Charles Bassey.
And I think they found the balance. When Trey Jemison is in the game, they want to Bassey around the perimeter a little bit more.
Offensive foul on Williams. Williams offensive foul, turnover, Western Kentucky. Can the Blazers come back, or is it too much? Bassey, Charles stepping out, Toppers lead it by 7. You're watching Bracket Week, presented by Kubota and Conference USA semifinal number 1, Western Kentucky by 7 on the Blazers. Air Force Reserve Conference USA semifinals continue 3 Eastern as North Texas taking on Louisiana Tech in what should be another tight one. North Texas 3 in the West, that doesn't indicate they actually have the best net of any team in Conference USA.
Yeah, and Louisiana Tech and North Texas split during the regular season. And the key was Isaiah Crawford from Louisiana Tech. In the game that Tech won, he scored 27 points. In the loss, he got in foul trouble, 2 quick fouls, and ended up with 5 points, and they lost that game. So Crawford's going to be a big key in that matchup.
Bassey, the difference maker in this one. You saw that note. 9 of the last 11 points for Western Kentucky from Charles Bassey. Quan in tight, draws a foul off the bounce with a foul on Tavion Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth's third personal. In addition to his 7 points, he has 6 rebounds and 2 assists.
The key on defense is anticipation and making sure you're in the correct position. You have to beat the driver to the spot. And it's easily said than done, and that's why you always have to move with the ball. You have to anticipate sometimes where the ball is going. Head's got to be on the swivel.
With 10:33, Rick Stansbury doesn't want to have Tavion Hollingsworth in any more foul trouble. Needs him down the stretch, so Hollingsworth gets a break. Rolls back in. Anderson has the board off the free throw miss.
You just see a different type of energy from Western Kentucky. They've outscored UAB 16-7 here in the second half. Bassey is starting to play like the Conference USA Player of the Year.
Wants it on the post. Reversal. Anderson triple. Boarded by Jemison. UAB needs to make a push. Ertl in transition. Jemison fights for the offensive rebound. Out of bounds to the Toppers.
See, Anderson, outstanding defensive player. You have to know who you are. If defenders are closing out to you extremely hard, you have to shot fake and put the ball on the floor, make Jemison help, and maybe you'll have a drop off to Bassey, or you can kick it on the backside for a 3.
Kick ball, reset it to 20.
Times, you know, coaches always tell you, you're open for a reason.
You sound like every coach who coached me, Avery. UAB, I mean, it's built on defense, and it is not, as Andy Kennedy is fond of saying, offensively, we are not aesthetically pleasing. It has been especially the case here in the second half. They're going to need more offense.
That nice little offense-defensive substitution here by Coach Stansbury by getting Frampton back in the game, providing a little bit more space for Bassey or for McKnight to drive.
Frampton with the shot clock, winding down, taken away. Here comes Quan. Run out on Rolls. And one count the bucket when the Blazers needed most. It's the Quan.
So in a situation like this, Carter, I want to just teach all of our viewers. That's what you call a double error. Frampton was open, shoot the 3. And then you come back, foul on the other end. That's a double error.
And it all starts with not taking the 3 when you have the look.
And that's why Coach Stansbury is sitting over there bewildered, because he put him in the game to shoot. Shooters shoot. When shooters want to be assist players, shoot the ball.
I'm actually forgetting who told us this year. Know your role and accept it. There's one thing to know your role, there's a second thing to accept it.
And star in your role.
You can know it all day long.
I wanted to shoot threes, but Coach Popovich didn't let me shoot any threes, Carter. I'm still disappointed, but it turned out all right.
Turned out all right for everybody involved. Got the championship ring to prove it. And now Ertl stepping in. Williams trailed, bothered the shot. Follow up. Back into the hands of Ertl. Still plenty of time to work with. He hasn't scored in the second half, Michael Ertl, after 11 in the first. Off the screen from Jemison. Ertl takes it. Fight for the rebound, and it is a fight. That's going to be possession arrow and possession arrow to the UAB Blazers with a frustrated Michael Ertl. I mean, that mid-range shot is where he usually makes his hay. Not even that's going down right now.
But for somebody who hasn't scored, Trey Jemison, he's really doing a nice job of mixing it up. Offensive rebounding, creating driving lanes with setting good screens for Ertl to operate. That's Jemison in that situation.
Scott Grayson, baseline inbound. Lovin kept it alive. Hilltoppers contest. Still 15 seconds on the shot clock. No rush.
Where can UAB go outside of Ertl to create some offense? Who's the next guy?
Scott Grayson tries it off the bounce. Feet inside. Jemison wasn't ready. So Rolls brings it back into the corner. There's Frampton. Shooters shoot!
Be yourself. And give Frampton credit. You know, he made a mistake on the prior possession, but he came back and had enough confidence and competitive spirit to do the right thing the second time.
Huge swing in this game right now, favoring Western Kentucky. Inside at 10 again. Jackson takes it on Rolls. Cleared by McKnight.
It's always been a struggle three-point shooting overall for UAB, especially if Ertl's, you know, Ertl's the only, he's 3 for 6 from the three-point line. Nobody else has made a three. That doesn't give you much balance on your offense.
A tough screen from Bassie. Now he wants it on the block. Bassie. And one. Oh, no foul. I thought he got banged by Jemison, but he has the flex of the muscle regardless. 20 points now for Charles Bassie.
And if you notice, compared to the first half, Bassie didn't mess around that time. He made a quick, deliberate move.
Lovin stripped. Taken away by Josh Anderson. On the run, Anderson bumps. That's a play on and back to UAB, and Rick Stansberry not too happy about it.
Yeah, Bassie did a nice.
Two steps from the dance here in Frisco, Texas. Conference USA tournament. Up next, it is Louisiana Tech versus North Texas. Championship game tomorrow night, 9 Eastern on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Andy Kennedy and the UAB Blazers led this game by 3 at the half, but Western Kentucky has taken care of the basketball in the second half. Charles Bassie has taken over, and the Hilltoppers up by 8. They have made the last 2 Conference USA championship games that have been played in 18 and 19, hoping to make it back for a 3rd straight Conference USA championship game and reverse the script and finally make it back to the madness as champs of CUSA.
And that was an impressive win by Louisiana Tech, especially without Kobe Williams, who's been a difference maker for him with that hand injury.
That's major. Kobe Williams, a point guard for Louisiana Tech. That was huge gut-out win. Bassie gets a break right now for Western Kentucky. So the question, Avery, can UAB make an impact right now as Ertl, first bucket of the second half? The answer is yes. With Bassie on the bench, Blazers try to make a push.
And the Blazers were in the same similar situation yesterday. They had a little bit of a cushion, took Bassie out of the game. UTSA ran on a little bit of a run, So we'll see with Bassey on the bench right here. You know, can they generate some offense? Where's the offense going to come from?
Williams, that is his first bucket of the game, Carson Williams. Williams had 15 yesterday, his first points today.
That was a timely basket.
Scott Grayson pop out on the wing, backing in, draws the D. Scott Grayson turns the corner off the window, tap, follow won't go. How about a third chance? Right back up, Lovin, and one, Taven Lovin. A chance at a three-point play.
Well, the physicality of Lovin inside for a guard, that was exceptional. Kirkland kept the ball alive. A little bit of roller derby inside there. Is that what Pete Chilling?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Coach Pete. Here comes Charles Bassey back into the game.
At the line, David Lovin. With the bucket, he'll only get the
Yeah, that was fun. David Lovin, though, with a chance at a three-point play. Franklin, Kentucky, a Franklin Simpson High School Wildcat against Western Kentucky. Over 1,000 career points in the game for Taven Lovin, and now trying to spark a UAB comeback. McKnight takes flight, rejected by Jemison. Blazers on the run. Scott Grayson stops. Here's Taven Lovin all the way to the rim. That's 5 straight for Lovin, and it's a 2-point game.
Yeah, that's all Scott Grayson. When you drive to the basket and defenses collapse like that, where are your outlets? And then Lovin knows who he is. He's not going to spot up behind the three-point line.
Frampton swatted. Lovin got a hand on it. And now UAB trying to run it down. McKnight wins a loose ball battle. Back to Frampton for 3.
That's his spot. That's the easiest time to get a wide open 3 when there's a scramble for a loose ball, an offensive rebound. But Frampton took and made the shot.
4:40 to go, and every possession is hotly contested. Lovin, that was the layup, and then the answer from Frampton.
Yeah, Frampton blocked the shot the last time. Jemison couldn't get out there fast enough. But that's the guy that you want taking the shots. You always want drivers shot faking and driving, and shooters shooting.
And Frampton is a 41% three-point shooter. Played a couple years at Davidson. He was actually cleared to play this year. So, I mean, all of the eligibility rules have been changed this year, but he was actually cleared to play for Western Kentucky, immediately eligible this year before everything changed, and Frampton's added a big-time piece to the Toppers.
I know a guy that's won a couple of championships in the NBA for Golden State that played at Davidson.
Oh, yeah, you remember him?
He can shoot a little bit. I think he won the...
Speaking of under-recruited stories in basketball, I think Avery Johnson qualifies as well. Taven Lovin, that one's away from the ball. Foul on Western Kentucky. Bassey gets this foul. He's perplexed.
But you see the rotation on Frampton's ball when he releases it? He's just got unbelievable wrist action. Just a beautiful stroke.
So 1-1 coming Trey Jemison. And big moment here for Jemison, who is a 70% free throw shooter. First points of the game, but as you pointed out repeatedly, that does not indicate what Trey Jemison has meant to this basketball game.
No, his defense, physicality inside. Bassey got the best of him a couple of possessions ago, but overall he's really did a nice job trying to neutralize Bassey inside, especially early in the game, in the first 10 minutes of the game when Bassey was scoreless.
Both teams in the bonus. Western Kentucky excels at the free throw line.
Here's UAB's 1-3-1 defense called, excuse me.
So whip it around the perimeter, Anderson. Knocks down the three. That is now 10 made threes in the game for Western Kentucky. They average only 5 makes a game.
So happy from my homeboy from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 60 miles west of New Orleans. He was wide open on that three-point shot. He had to deliver.
Grayson, Bassey rejects it. Foul in tight on UAB. Western Kentucky basketball. And the Hilltopper fans feel another spot in the championship game closing in. And the man who has led them there, Charles Bassey, with a little help from Louisiana. Western Kentucky now 3:43 away from another spot in the title game in time for Toughest on the Court, brought to you by Gorilla Glue. Do you have any question who's the toughest today? Charles Bassey had to get it warmed up in order to play, and then after a slow start, he has taken over.
And the key is, how do you handle adversity? Adversity is not always when you turn the ball over and how you respond, but what about when your body doesn't feel, like you feel like playing and you're sore? I've felt that type of soreness before, whether it's in your back, hamstring soreness, calf soreness. You don't always feel like playing, but how can you control your mind to tell your body that no matter how it feels, we're participating today?
You're inspiring me to get in a workout today, Avery. That's what you're doing right now. In the second half, Bassey, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals. Add to it with a free throw make and a chance for another.
When you're the best player in the conference, best player on your team, it's a high level of responsibility. And one thing I respect about Charles Bassey, especially on a day like today when he's not 100% healthy, that he's accepted that responsibility and he's excelled.
22 in the game now for Bassey.
This is what elite players do, not just excellent players. He's an elite player.
Fighting back from the broken leg last year. Back injury this year. Deep down low, Scott Grayson. Kick out. Getting close to desperation time for the Blazers. Quan hits the three. Jackson is going to give you a chance.
Quan is known, for steals in his defense. That was a tough contested shot. Western Kentucky probably couldn't play it any better. Just really good defense and even better offense.
Rolls off the high screen. Long 2. Boarded Scott Grayson. Blazers not done yet. Lovin in tight. Takes it right to the rim. Not backing away from anybody, Taven Lovin.
Man, he's just like a freight train going down the middle of the floor. For someone that's only 6'1", 180 pounds, man, he's physical.
Doesn't play like it.
And fearless.
McKnight, the fearless freshman from Shelbyville, sets it up.
I would be surprised if Bassey doesn't take this shot.
Bassey off the screen. Anderson's going to take it. Maybe Bassey should have. 4-point game. Jackson attacks. Ertl passes on the shot. Only one made shot in the second half from Michael Ertl. Lovin. Bassey rejects it. Still 13 to shoot for the Blazers, though.
And see, in this situation, it's not just about communicating on defense, it's communicating on offense. Jimerson should have said, hey, Bassey's coming. Then maybe Lovin would have stopped, pump faked, and found Jimerson underneath the basket. You got to communicate on both sides of the floor.
And yet another opportunity for UAB. Ertl in tight, attacks, rejected by Bassey again. Back-to-back blocks by Bassey. Loose ball, touched by the Toppers. UAB ball, we're inside of 2 minutes.
They need to review that. That looks like that was off of Ertl.
It will be. It'll be reviewed. We're inside of 2 minutes. So we will take a look at this one. Critical call.
Yeah, good hustle by Ertl, but looked like it went off his hands initially.
That's close.
That's close. I don't know if Anderson's left hand touched it right at the last minute. Ertl did get a piece of it.
Anderson and Ertl. I mean, Ertl started the contact, but looked like Anderson may have touched it last, which was the call. Darren George was right on top of the play. Antonio Petty and Jeb Hartness are looking at the monitor. This was tight live, and it is tight on super slow-mo.
It all depends on how quickly this review goes.
Right. And the call on the court is off of Western Kentucky UAB ball. And this is why you have the review under 2 minutes with a spot in the championship game on the line. I mean, Anderson touched it. Did Ertl touch it again? I think that's the biggest question. Darren's going to come talk to us. And exactly what we're trying to figure out. Did Ertl touch it a second time? But this is why you have the review. I mean, reviews sometimes get maligned, but with everything on the line, and it will be UAB ball, so the call stands. A minute 40 in a 4-point game. Call was UAB ball, upheld in review.
Yeah, and that's all Ertl, the hustle. But boy, Bassey's been just dominant with his defense. 4 blocks, all in the second half. I wonder when UAB's going to learn their lesson that you probably don't want to challenge Bassey inside for a layup.
You think that was discussed during that little false timeout? Sometimes you hear the phrase ghost screen. This is a ghost timeout. When you get these long reviews, I mean, that allows Andy Kennedy to talk to his team. Rick Stansbury to talk to his team.
Yeah, now they're just trying to get the shot clock and the clock right.
Clock squared away, 27. No change there. No change on the game clock. Minute 40. So if you're UAB, what are you setting up for this possession?
Well, you want to try to get the ball to Lovin. In a perfect world, getting him driving downhill. He's been hard to handle.
Oh, shot clock to 20. Seventh, nearly a travel. Ertl with Jemison diving in. Ertl takes the 2 and drills it. Just the second bucket of the half from Michael Ertl.
Yeah, they tried to post up Lovin on the right box. Western Kentucky did a nice job, and Ertl making plays off the dribble. This time of the year, you have to have players that what we call problem solving. You got to solve problems.
Just over a minute to go, and it feels like we're just getting started. Hollingsworth, Ertl strips it away out of bounds. UAB ball. It's 7 straight for the Blazers, and now it's a 2-point game with 61 ticks away. Spot in the championship.
Nice job by Ertl, all ball. Off of Hollingsworth, right knee. Very good defense.
Under a minute, Ertl needs help. Picked up the dribble. Scott Grayson comes to get it. Ertl off the screen. Ertl takes the 3. Fight for the rebound. Huge one. Grabbed by McKnight for the Hilltoppers. Foul is given with 35 seconds. A good look for Ertl for the lead.
Yeah, but they were a little bit discombobulated. Their timing was off. Western Kentucky denied one of their passes. Their offense wasn't as synchronized. Nice job by Western Kentucky by disrupting that play.
McKnight to the line. Now, one more check at the scores table. This may be to make sure we have the right shooter at the free throw line.
Coach Kennedy was very disappointed about the execution in that play. He was about to come out of his fatigues.
McKnight, who is an 83% free throw shooter. Gets the first.
One.
McKnight gets them both. Timeout. Western Kentucky making plays down the stretch. Spot in the championship game on the line. 4-point edge for Western Kentucky after the back-to-back free throw makes from Davion McKnight. 35 seconds to go. Spot in the championship game on the line. North Texas versus Louisiana Tech is coming up next. So strategy-wise, UAB down by 4, but what do you do for Western Kentucky up by 4?
Yeah, here you definitely don't want to foul. You want to play defense without fouling. Make sure you don't give UAB any second shots. I wouldn't be surprised if Western Kentucky plays a little bit of zone on this possession, or show zone, and that's look like what they're going to do here. If you're UAB, obviously Ertl, Lovin, you want to get the ball in their hands.
Ertl has blood on his hand. He has to come out, at least get treatment right now. This is the hottest shooter, your best chance for UAB, and blood, so this is quick. Now, officiating-wise, this is a note where officials like to give you every chance to get that bandaged rather than speeding up the game and rushing you back. So that's exactly what is going on the UAB bench to try and get Ertl cleaned up and ready to go.
Well, he's like a prize fighter. They got him cleaned up, and he's back in the ring.
That's critical for the Blazers to have him on the floor.
Oh, absolutely.
Ertl's out there and ready to roll. Blazers need something relatively quick.
Just what we thought. Western Kentucky's in a zone here. UAB probably had a man-to-man play called. Now, how can you adjust?
Jackson, step in. Bothered, Bassey can't corral it. Now Bassey kept it alive. Who touched it last? It's out of bounds off Western Kentucky. Blazer ball, but now you have 14.5, and you're still down by 4.
You mean to tell me that Bassey doesn't want to win this game, even with his back in the condition? He basically went into the back of the basket. Western Kentucky, the entire bench, they were holding their breath when he dove for that ball.
And now the Blazers need something especially quick.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a 3, but it's got to be your best shot.
Ertl, too much time coming off. Now you're under 10 seconds. Ertl, hounded. Ertl, no chance. Scott Grayson just heaves it, and it is loose ball. Zeros on the clock. Western Kentucky is back in the Conference USA Championship game. Charles Bassey wills the Hilltoppers on in CUSA.
Yeah, just stifling defense by Western Kentucky on that last possession. Looked like they tried to get Ertl free. They jumped out, smothered him, suffocated him, and that was very problematic for UAB.
Bassey finishes with 22 points, 7 rebounds. 4 blocks, all in the second half. 2 steals. Heartbreaking loss for UAB. They led it by 3 at the break, but it is Western Kentucky who moves on to face either Louisiana Tech or North Texas. The Hilltoppers, terrific on both ends. That last defensive possession by Western Kentucky clinched it.
Yeah, it was their zone defense. Nice adjustment. UAB didn't have a counter to their man-to-man offense to have a really good zone play. Sometimes you have a zone play and a man-to-man play call.
Charles Bassey joins us now from midcourt. And Charles, you began the day with the back issues that have been bothering you. What did it take to get yourself physically and mentally ready to play in this game?
Like you said, it's all mental, I was like, man, I got to get this win. So, I just kept playing, and, I didn't feel it, and I just kept going. My teammate keep encouraging me. I know I started slow, but, to just get this chip, coming into me, I'm going to start from the beginning of the game.
Charles, Coach Avery, I was really impressed with how you decided to bring Jemison away from the basket. Early in the game, you were trying to post him up. What was going into your mind about making him come out and play you behind the three-point line?
I just felt like I started the game outside in. Every time I go in the game, I felt like I should start the game from inside out. So I know I came out to this side shooting, but I felt like, when I got a couple basket in the paint, I felt like I was ready to shoot it, and I made 2 in a row.
Charles, it's been a long journey from you from Lagos, Nigeria to Western Kentucky, through the injuries, through the cancellation last year. You'll be playing in the championship game tomorrow night. What does it mean to lead Western Kentucky to the championship game with a chance to win and finally be in the dance?
Man, it means a lot, man. You know, it means a lot to my teammates, the organization. I mean, it just means a lot, man. You know, I know my freshman year, we went to the finals, we lost to ODU. Last year, it got canceled because of COVID. So I just felt like this year, my team, we were ready, and I just felt like coming in tomorrow, we're going to be ready to get that chip. So, you know, going back now, we're going to recover, come back tomorrow and get ready.
Charles, congratulations on a great win, and thank you for your effort today.
Thanks, big fella. Get some rest.
Yes, sir.
What a tremendous effort from Charles Bassey. Western Kentucky moves on. For Avery Johnson, our entire crew, I'm Carter Blackburn. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Back in a bit, second semifinal, North Texas, La Tech. So long for now from the Star.